Mr. Valencia, you have an arrest warrant out of Pima County Justice Court on a shoplifting case and criminal trespass and failure to appear. It looks like you are being held by Tucson City Court on the Justice Court matter. I'm going to release you with a court date of March 19th at 8:30. And that should do it. You are excused.
All right.
Good evening. What is your name?
Jesus Ramon Painori Higuera.
Okay, say that again.
Jesus Ramon Painori Higuera.
Thank you.
Good evening, Your Honor. This is the interpreter, Spanish interpreter. I'm on the line. I'm just going to go ahead and put myself on mute.
Okay, thank you. This is- oh, okay. You're charged with domestic violence, interfering with judicial proceedings, and domestic violence disorderly conduct. I'm going to order that you obey the order of protection. You are not to be at the home or workplace of Margarita Higuera. Don't commit any acts of domestic violence, no alcohol or drugs, and no firearms or other weapons. Bond is set in the amount of $500, and you will be seen on this case tomorrow on video at 1 p.m. You'll be represented by attorney Peter Gutierrez. You're excused.
Good evening, Your Honor.
Good evening. Hello, what is your name?
My voice Andrew Curtis.
Curtis? Okay. Mr. Curtis, you were charged with domestic violence assault with injury, domestic violence disorderly conduct, and domestic violence criminal damage. We're going to order no alcohol or illegal drugs. Don't commit any act of domestic violence. You are being released. Your court date at Tucson City Court is April 8th at 1:30 p.m. You're excused. Oh, that's sorry. Wrong direction. Let's do Just, good afternoon. What's, just hold on a minute.
I'm sorry, Your Honor, this is the interpreter. And I hear that there was a need for an interpreter on this next case.
No, I was working on something else. Just hold on just a moment. Okay. All right. Now, what's your name, sir?
Luis Arquímedes González Álvarez.
Thank you.
Gracias, señor.
You were charged with 3 counts of surreptitious recording and 1 count of voyeurism. I'm gonna order
Muy
that.
bien. Se le acusa de grabar de forma sin que nadie sepa, supiera, y luego un cargo de estar viendo sin que nadie lo vea. Yes.
I'm gonna order that,
Can I speak? They kept.
I'm gonna order that. Am I hearing someone?
Yes, I'm sorry. They kept giving me different numbers, and I started at 2 minutes to 7, and I just
Who are
got to you. Elizabeth Farnell,
Are you on this?
are you hearing? Is this Marcus Clayton's case?
No, it is not.
Oh, okay, I'm with Mark.
Okay, you'll know when we get to him. In the meantime, would you mute yourself? All right, Mr. Alvarez, we're gonna order that you have no contact with the alleged victim and that you not return to the incident location. Also, no firearms or other weapons and no alcohol or illegal drugs.
Muy bien, señor. Se va a ordenar que no tenga contacto con la supuesta víctima, que no regrese al lugar de los hechos, que no tenga armas de fuego ni tampoco ningún otro tipo de arma, que no beba bebidas alcohólicas ni tampoco ninguna droga ilícita.
And I'm also going to add,
También voy a agregar
do not leave the state of Arizona without the court's permission.
que no puede salir del estado de Arizona sin el permiso del tribunal.
Okay.
Okay.
The state is recommending that I hold you on a $75,000 bond.
La fiscalía está recomendando que yo lo detenga con una fianza de $75,000.
And we are going to hear from defense counsel.
Muy bien, y el abogado defensor va a hablar de su parte.
Judge, a few things I wanted to note. One, the warrant that was out of Florida, it does look like he quashed that 2 days later and
Muy
has
bien, quiero un par de cosas que quiero mencionar. Primero, la orden de arresto que sale, que es de California, parece que se anuló eso 2 días después.
it looks like he quashed that 2 days later and has a pending pretrial conference set.
Y parece que se anuló 2 días después y parece que hay una audiencia preprocesal que todo que pendiente.
He has no prior convictions of any kind.
No tiene ninguna condena anterior de ningún tipo.
I think that the state may have mentioned in their workup an ICE hold, but that's incorrect. He's here lawfully. He has asylum, work visa, tax number, social security, all that.
Muy bien, señor. Creo que la fiscalía mencionó en los documentos que tramitaron que había una orden de detención de ICE, lo cual no es cierto. Él está aquí legalmente, tiene asilo, tiene visa de trabajo, tiene número de seguro social, etcétera.
He also is gainfully employed here in town as a welder.
También trabaja aquí de forma remunerada y trabaja como soldador.
Sí.
And Judge, he does have verified third-party housing, as third-party housing and custody through his friend Jackie, who has indicated their support.
Y también tiene casa con un tercero, una casa verificada, también custodia verificada a través de un tercero. Esta persona se llama Jackie, esta persona es amiga y ha verificado que se apoya al acusado.
So for those reasons, Judge, we would be asking to his release to pretrial services. If you're not inclined to release him to pretrial services, Judge, we'd ask for a much more reasonable bond of $10,000.
Muy bien, por eso estamos pidiendo, su señoría, que usted lo deje en libertad bajo supervisión de servicios previos a juicio. De no ser así, pedimos que usted baje la fianza, una fianza mucho más baja, a $10,000.
Your Honor,
Thank you. We'll hear from
Su señoría. Ahora la fiscalía va a hablar.
Your Honor, what defense has failed to note is the interim complaint speaks of a brutal allegations of sexual assault, which is the basis of this surreptitious recording. The pretrial website. Go ahead.
Su señoría,
Go ahead.
que la defensa no menciona el documento intervino acusatorio, hay mención de agresión sexual brutal que tiene que ver con qué es el motivo para estas grabaciones que se hicieron de forma furtiva.
And what we also see is pretrial reports that he lives in Orlando, Florida, with his girlfriend and his daughter. The state has.
Counsel, was that his wife and his daughter?
Girlfriend and daughter.
Girlfriend, con la novia y con su hija.
And if he's only an asylee applicant, the state has serious concerns about flight risk. Your Honor, this is not simply surreptitiously videoing somebody. This is also surreptitiously video somebody being brutally assaulted. $75,000.
I'm sorry. Muy bien, sí, señora. Y también tomando en cuenta que lo único que tiene es que es solicitante de asilo, él sí representa un prófugo, o sea, un riesgo grande de ser prófugo de la ley, porque a fin de cuentas no estamos hablando de una grabación furtiva, estamos hablando de una grabación furtiva junto con agresión sexual brutal. Así que seguimos con la recomendación de una fianza de $75,000.
Okay, thank you.
Gracias.
He's actually not charged with assault, is he?
I noted that too, Your Honor, but in the incident report, it's.
One second, please.
Sure.
En realidad no lo están acusando de agresión, ¿cierto?
Your Honor, there is no charge on the list. However, if you look at the narrative in the interim complaint, you will see that it says otherwise. There is not a charge. However, given the nature of the allegations, I would say that charge is forthcoming.
Muy bien, sí, es cierto, su señoría, que el cargo no lo están acusando de eso en este momento, pero si usted puede leer el narrativo que está en el documento acusatorio intervino, usted va a ver que existe eso y que claro, el cargo no está, pero me imagino, se me hace que es algo que se debe considerar que en algún momento lo van a acusar de eso pronto.
Thank you. I'm gonna set bond-
Gracias.
I'm gonna set bond in the amount of 30,000. The next court date is March 19th. It's supposed to be 1:30.
Your Honor,
And the public defender is appointed.
Your Honor, the interpreter was just muted and did not hear what Your Honor said.
I said the bond is set in the amount of $30,000. You can go ahead.
Muy bien, la fianza se fija en $30,000.
The next court date is March 19th at 1:30.
Próxima audiencia el 19 de marzo a la 1:30
And the public defender is appointed.
y se le nombra para representarlo, señor, el abogado defensor.
And Mr. Alvarez, you are excused.
Ahora, señor Álvarez, usted se puede retirar.
Sí, su fianza sí puede tener este Ortiz, pues, que es municipalidad.
Hello, what is your name?
Marcus Ryder, Malawahi, Clayton.
Wait. Mr. Clayton, you are charged with failure to comply with a court order as a domestic violence offense. And I believe there's someone on the call that wishes to speak. If so, you can go ahead. I guess not. Okay. I'm going to order that you not commit any acts of domestic violence. You are not to possess or consume any alcoholic beverages or possess any firearms or other weapons. Also, you are not to go to the residence or workplace of Elizabeth Farnell and obey the order of protection. Bond is set in the amount of 500, and the Tucson City Public Defender is appointed to represent you. Video review is scheduled for, well, that date can't be right. Oh, I wrote it wrong. No, I forgot the 1 and the 17th. I wrote the 7th, which I remember is past. So, that was Friday. And what tells you that?
It was lighting up with it raising its hand.
Oh, okay.
Hello?
Hello? Are you Ms.
Hi there, yeah,
Are you Ms.
yes.
Cornell?
it says, yes, I am.
Okay, did you wish to speak?
Yes, I would, please.
Go ahead.
Um, yeah, I would just like to, have you taken into consideration that the intent of the call was for, the PAD to be initiated and, for mental health? PAG, yeah, it's like a title, but it's persistently acutely disabled, and he was supposed to go to, CRC. And then when they realized that we do have, that superseded that. So, he didn't do anything disrespectful or destructive or disruptive to warrant our calling. I just wanted you to know that.
Okay.
But but at the same time, he's chronically homeless, and it's just not healthy right now because I'm taking care of his 94-year-old grandmother, and I can't look out the window and see his car out front. It's just not working out.
Okay.
So anyway, that's yeah.
Okay. Well, you do have an order of protection.
That is correct. Yes, I do. You're right. So I'm.
You have a request that conditions of release.
Yeah, he's supposed to, one of the officers that picked him up was going to transport him to, a medical facility for stabilization
Okay.
when he's released.
Do you
Yeah.
want me to release him, or do you want me to stick with the bond that I ordered to be posted?
Well, if he's to be released, it would be to go to a medical facility for stabilization, not to be on the street again.
Okay.
Yeah, so, I guess whatever the, system allows would be the preference.
Okay.
So,
He's gonna be in
Yeah.
Tucson City Court, and he's gonna be represented by the city public defender. Okay, so you can certainly contact the prosecution, and if you want to, contact the public defender
okay,
as well.
okay,
But I am gonna
Okay.
continue to hold him
So-
on a bond because he did violate a court order.
okay,
All right?
okay, very good. Do you know when the next hearing is, or you don't have that
The next
information?
hearing is gonna be March 17th, which is,
Okay,
it's a week from tomorrow.
okay,
Okay,
at city court,
that is correct.
and I believe it's 10 a.m.
No, it's 1:45 PM. That's a video review.
Okay, very good. Okay.
What matter is
very good.
that? What matter is that?
Okay,
All right?
okay, thank you, sir. That's all that I needed to say.
All right, thank you. The matter,
Okay.
sir, is the failure to comply with a court order. That's what you're in for. All right? You're excused. Yes. Okay. Those of you that are on for Mr. Yucapicio, he's not going to be seen tonight. He is unavailable. He's scheduled for tomorrow morning. Hello, sir. What's your name?
Yo, Andy, no English.
Okay. Is the interpreter still on?
On.
Okay. I was asking this gentleman, what is your name?
Señor,
Yo, Andy Eduardo Padrino Chacón.
does not understand that, but
Okay, well, say it.
habla en español, señor.
Sí, señorita.
Let's see. ¿Su nombre otra vez, señor?
Joandris Eduardo Padrino Chacón.
Eduardo Padilla Chacón, Chacón Padrino.
Sí, señorita.
Oh.
Padrino is the last name.
Padrin.
Oh.
Is that your last name?
Su apellido se escribe Padrino, señor.
Correcto.
Yes.
Okay. All right. You were charged with domestic violence assault and domestic
Se le
violence
acusa-
disorderly conduct.
Se le acusa de violencia antiseminar, agresión y violencia antiseminar, alterar el orden público.
Okay.
I am going
Okay.
to order that you not commit any acts of domestic violence and that you not possess or consume any alcoholic beverages or illegal drugs.
Muy bien, señor, voy a ordenar que usted no haga nada de violencia antifamiliar, que no tome nada de bebidas alcohólicas ni tampoco drogas ilícitas.
I'm
Perfecto.
also ordering that you not have contact of any kind with Michelle Mena Banana.
Muy bien, también estoy ordenando que no tenga nada de contacto de ninguna clase con Michelle Mena Banana.
Okay.
And that you not
Okay.
go to her home or workplace.
Y que no vaya usted a la casa de ella ni tampoco al lugar del trabajo de ella.
Okay, perfecto.
You get a
Fine.
you get a one-time return visit with a police escort to collect your personal belongings.
Y usted sí puede ir a la casa una vez para recoger sus pertenencias personales con un oficial del orden público.
I'm also
Okay.
ordering that you not leave the state of Arizona without the court's permission.
También estoy ordenando que no puede salir del estado de Arizona sin el permiso del tribunal.
You will
Okay.
you will be released with these conditions and
Lo van a,
go ahead.
sorry, lo van a dejar en libertad bajo estas condiciones, señor.
Okay, señorita, perfecto.
And your court date at Tucson City Court is April 8th at 1:30.
Y su próxima audiencia en el tribunal de la ciudad de Tucson se celebrará el 8 de abril a la 1:30 de la tarde.
El 8 de abril a la 1:30.
I'm sorry, was that the 8th of April at 1:30?
That is correct.
Sí, señora, a la 1:30, el 8 de abril.
Perfecto.
You're excused.
Perfect.
You get paperwork.
Bueno, muy bien, señor, se puede retirar, le van a dar su papeleo.
Okay, perfecto. Permiso.
Perfecto.
Let's have an ice hold.
What
No,
was
you
that?
just leave.
Hold on. We need a
Un momentito,
mask.
señor. Necesita regresar, señor.
Okay.
He's got,
Parece que hay una... La abogada defensora está diciendo que hay una orden de detención de ICE, de migración.
He does have an ice hold.
Conmigo.
I didn't say that.
Sí, señor, la abogada defensora está diciendo que usted tiene una orden de detención de migración.
No, yo tengo todos mis papeles en regla.
No, I have all my papers are in order.
Todos mis papeles en regla.
Everything, all of my papers are in order.
I don't see anything in the pretrial services report that indicates.
No veo nada en el informe previo a juicio sobre eso.
I'm sorry?
He does have one, Your Honor. He came over earlier today.
Okay.
Sí tiene orden de detención de ICE, salió antes hoy.
¿Cómo? Disculpe.
I'm sorry, what is this?
I'm being told that you have an immigration hold.
Señor, me están diciendo que usted tiene una orden de detención de inmigración.
Pero yo nunca he hecho nada, señorita, ni una multa, ni un papel, ni he hecho con ninguna infracción. Todos mis
I've
papeles
never
están
done
en regla.
anything. I've never had a fine. I've never had a paper. I've never had an infraction. Nothing.
Mi primera corte la tengo en el 2027, el 18 de febrero a las 8:30. Nunca he estado en problemas con la ley.
21 in February.
Nunca he estado en problemas con la ley, nunca he sido arrestado por ICE, ni inmigración, ni ningún
I've
departamento de
never had a problem with warrants, arrested by ICE or immigration.
Well, we can either, you have an immigration.
Señor,
I'm sorry, all that
hay
back.
una orden de detención de ICE. Señor.
Quiero saber por qué es, señorita, disculpe, o cómo viene
Why
eso.
is that? I'm so sorry. Why is that?
We can either vote you on bond and appoint a city public defender to represent you, or we can continue this to tomorrow 8 a.m. and perhaps get information through Tucson services in regard to the immigration hold.
Que le podemos nombrar, le podemos fijar una fianza pequeña y nombrarle a un abogado defensor. Y la segunda opción es que podemos aplazar este caso hasta mañana y ya por la mañana y ya en este momento podemos esperar hasta que haya más información sobre esta orden de detención de ICE.
Y si me tendría una fianza, podría irme hoy. Porque, o sea, no he hecho nada.
If I were to get a bond, would I be able to go? Oh, would I be able to go home? The thing is that I haven't done it. Would I be able to leave? I haven't done anything.
If I impose the bond, you will stay there on the bond until the bond is posted. If it's not
Señor, si
posted,
yo pongo una,
then you remain there.
señor, si yo pongo una fianza, si yo ordeno que se deposite una fianza, usted se quedará en la cárcel hasta que usted paga la fianza.
Pero, ¿y qué otra solución hay? Porque, o sea, mis papeles de inmigración,
What
o sea,
my papers are in order, my immigration
mis
papers are in order.
papeles de inmigración están en regla totalmente, mis cortes no he fallado ni una.
Those are the one or the other, which is your preference.
Señor, tiene dos opciones. Usted tiene que escoger. Quiere que se fije una fianza para que usted pase y que le asigne un abogado defensor del departamento de la ciudad, o quiere aplazar su caso hasta mañana. Tiene dos opciones. Hay que escoger entre una o la otra.
Si me colocan la fianza, yo, o sea, ¿se puede pagar el día de hoy o cómo sería o de cuánto sería?
If I were to get the bond, would I be able to pay it out today? How would that look? How would that be?
I'll tell you what, we're holding up, the rest of the folks here, so I'm just gonna continue this tomorrow and ask, pre-trial services to verify with you what you're saying, okay?
Vamos a aplazar el caso hasta mañana. Estamos demorando los demás que están esperando ver al juez. Y lo que voy a hacer es, voy a pedir que el servicio de juicios verifique lo que usted está diciendo.
All right? You'll be seen
Muy
tomorrow.
bien. Usted lo van a ver mañana por la mañana, señor.
All right,
Se puede retirar, señor.
hello, what is your name?
Sí.
Okay, you were muted, so I didn't.
Oh. Eric Barcelo.
Thank you. One moment. Is the public defender available?
Actually,
Okay, this is Mr. Barcelo. Mr. Barcelo, you have both felony charges and misdemeanor charges in Tucson City Court. The felony charge is possession of a narcotic drug and possession of drug paraphernalia. I am going to read a statement to you. Let me check on something first.
Your Honor, please disregard the monetary request on there. It looks like he's eligible for steps, but with his probation violations, it's not entirely sure the logistics on that.
Okay,
That said, defense may want a bond amount for time credit.
okay. How much?
well, if he has an APL hold, Judge, we'd just be asking for $1,100.
Okay. I'm actually asking the prosecution what their
2,500.
2,500. Okay. And you're asking for 1,100. Okay, thank you. Got it.
Just nominal bond.
All right. Mr. Barcelo, I'm going to read a statement to you that will be followed up by a question. Please answer the question, yes or no. You may be eligible to participate in a diversion program called STEPS that requires you to participate in a plan specific to your needs for a short time. If you choose to participate and complete the program, these felony drug accusations in your arrest report will be permanently dismissed without you ever being formally charged. Are you interested in getting, and this, I'm reading this printout here. This does not mean that you are going to be released. I can't promise you that. Are you interested in getting released from jail custody now and learning more about the STEPS program at your next hearing?
Yes, sir. I sure am.
We're going to place you in STEPS. There is a probation hold. And we're going to set a bond in the amount of 1,500. With pretrial services supervision if posted. No alcohol or drugs, no firearms or other weapons, don't return to the incident location. Your STEPS court date is March 18th at 9 a.m. Preliminary hearing is March 19th at 1:30. And you're going to be represented by the county public defender. Your Tucson City Court matter is a misdemeanor case that has been, oh, wait a minute, there's a warrant for this. The charges are domestic violence assault with injury, domestic violence disorderly conduct, and another domestic violence disorderly conduct. Let's see. Let me check something right quick. I'm gonna order that you not commit any acts of domestic violence. Also that, you have no contact of any kind with Albert Barcelo or Laura Barcelo. And that you stay away from their homes or workplaces. If you reside with them, you may return one time with a law enforcement officer to get your personal belongings. And it's gonna be made you.
Because that changed.
Talk to you. You want to see it?
We're gonna set bond on the misdemeanor in the amount of 500. Appoint the city public defender to represent you. And there's gonna be a video. We need a date other than the 18th. Okay. Video review, March 21st at 1:45. If you are released prior to that, out of custody date would be April 8th at 2:30, and this would be at Tucson City Court. And we will note the probation and felony holds. All right, you are excused.
So
Your Honor, this is the Spanish interpreter. Just wondering if I could be excused. It doesn't look like there's any more Spanish. If that is the case, maybe I could be excused.
Your family, that you're turning from ahead, you can change that easily. They just ask the court.
The thing is, the mother already called it something that's already in Boston court. I think they've said that, right?
You know that you're not muted. Thank you. We do want to know from the jail, though, if there are any Spanish speakers once they unmute. Any Spanish speakers?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, the interpreter is excused.
Thank you, Your Honor.
What's that?
Just the fact.
For the city court. You had a $1,500.
Hello,
So,
what is your name, ma'am?
Cynthia Nicholson.
All right, one moment. You are charged, Ms. Nicholson, with trespassing in the first degree. The county attorney is recommending that I hold you on a $3,000 bond with pretrial services supervision if that bond is posted. At a minimum, I'm gonna order no alcohol or drugs, no firearms or other weapons. Do not have contact with the alleged victim and do not return to location of the alleged incident. We'll hear from defense counsel as to the bond recommendation.
Judge, $3,000 for a 73-year-old woman who doesn't have a single blemish on her record. She's a retired preschool teacher. It's true she doesn't have, noted contacts in Tucson, but she does have cousins out here. She does have family out here. She has reliable transportation to get her back to Tucson if she does get released. She has housing in California. She had indicated to me, could also get someplace to stay here if the court so orders her to remain here. We would be asking she be released pretrial services with permission to leave to California. Once again, Judge, a 73-year-old woman, no criminal history. This is a non-violent trespassing case where it seems like there's some other stuff going on here. So, Judge, we know what the interim complaint says. We all have copies of the interim complaint. We don't need to rehash facts of it. With that history, she should be released to pretrial services, given her age, lack of criminal history, all of that.
Does the prosecution have anything to add?
The state was most concerned about the fact that she was told to go away by the rightful persons controlling the property, and then she returned. The state's
Your turn to select your property, Judge.
Okay, thank you. Just a moment. I'm going to order that you be released to the supervision of pretrial services, cooperate with pretrial services. Your next court date is March 31st at 1:30. Public defender appointed, and I'm also ordering that you not leave the state of Arizona without court permission. Right? You're excused.
Judge, can she have leave to return to the property once more with police escort to get her truck?
I have my dog there.
Is the truck still at this other person's home?
No,
Then there's no need to return.
Good day, Your Honor.
Hello, what is your name?
Steven Sanchez.
Okay. Mr. Sanchez, you have several matters, including a misdemeanor case in Tucson City Court. Still with the interim complaint. You're charged with ag assault, control of officer's weapon other than firearm, aggravated assault on an officer, resisting arrest, driving under the influence, unlawful flight, and criminal speeding. And let's see, I think that's the second. We're going to order that you not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. You are not to possess any firearms or other weapons. Do not have or do not initiate contact with the alleged victim. Stay away from the incident location. You do have a hold in, well, I don't know that you have one yet. You are going to have a hold in Tucson City Court. You have a felony hold as well. And the state is recommending a $75,000 bond on this matter. And then you have some other, you have a Superior Court matter as well that we'll discuss in a moment. We'll hear from defense.
Judge, given the holds, we'd just be asking for a reasonable bond.
Okay. I hear this all the time, reasonable bond. What's the other phrase? A nominal bond. What exactly does that mean?
Well, I think it kind of varies case by case. I mean, $1,100, I think it's a pretty reasonable bond. If probation holds, it's already gonna hold them no bond. But it's sort of our way of saying deferring to the court, I imagine.
Not on probation, no.
What is this a warrant out of city court case?
I haven't been on probation since for a couple of years now.
You can discuss that after the fact. Let's hear from the prosecution.
Your Honor, the defendant led the police in a high-speed chase that terminated with a fight such that the defendant went after the police officer's taser, and both parties were injured, and the officer was exposed to the defendant's blood in an open cut on the officer. So now we have a cop that has to worry about blood-borne diseases from this individual. We are also looking at 30 miles over the limit, wrong lane of travel, and there is ample evidence of profound DUI. And what we have here is somebody who tried to flee the cops at high speed, then got into a fight when he lost the pursuit and still wouldn't give up the fight. And now we have an officer that's been exposed to bodily fluids. 75,000.
All right.
He's also got an extensive history to include escape.
Judge, we're asking for a bond.
You're asking for what?
We are asking for a bond. We understand the state's concerns. Where's
Your Honor, I'm working. I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to right now.
No.
Sir, you shouldn't talk right now. I am going to set bond in the amount of 75,000 with pretrial services supervision if posted. Your next court date on this case is March 19th at 1:30, and the county public defender is appointed. So let's approve that one. The next item is a superior court warrant. You have an arrest warrant out of Pima County Superior Court listing charges of endangerment, domestic violence, domestic violence, criminal damage, dangerous nature, and aggravated domestic violence. On that one, we're gonna order no alcohol or drugs, no acts of domestic violence, no firearms or other weapons, do not have contact of any kind with Savannah Mendoza Quintero, and stay away from that person's home or workplace. The bond listed on this warrant is 25,000. Defense wish to speak to that?
No, Your Honor.
State wish to speak to that?
The state
we'd be happy-
agrees with
Sorry, go for it.
State agrees with the 25,000. This person has an absolutely extensive history of DV, and therefore state believes it's entirely appropriate.
Okay, got it. Thank you. We're gonna set bond in the amount of 25,000. Your court date on that matter is March 17th at 1:30. And the public defender will be representing you on that matter as well. The next item is a warrant out of Pima County Justice Court on a misdemeanor domestic violence, disorderly conduct. I'm setting bond on that one in the amount of $1,000. Peter Gutierrez will be representing you. You're going to be seen on Monday at 1 o'clock on video. And the last item of business is Tucson City Court. You are on probation for misdemeanor domestic violence. There is a petition to revoke your probation, alleging that reasonable cause to believe conditions of probation were violated in that you failed to send proof of domestic violence counseling by June 1st of last year when it was due. So we're sign off on that. We're going to set the Tucson City Court matter for $1,000 bond, and we'll note the other holds. The city public defender is appointed to represent you. And your hearing there will be March 19th at 1:30. That's going to be on video at Tucson City Court. Wait a minute, is this DV? Is this an intimate partner DV?
The both of it's-
What was it, Judge Million want?
Well, I guess it would be if it's Judge Million.
But I mean, no, I meant is that, does he already have something on the 19th? So we need to go have a,
Okay.
we'll look a couple of events.
I don't think I didn't set anything for the 19th on this other case, do we? The Superior Report's the 17th,
Okay, okay,
and then the
never mind.
interim is what? Oh, that is the 19th. Okay, so we'll, okay. March 26th then. At 1:30, since you have another court date on the 19th in the other court. All right? And the city public defender will represent you on this petition. Your excuse, sir. Hello, what is your name?
Pamela Smith.
Say again.
Pamela Smith.
Smith. Okay, got it. Thank you.
Welcome.
You are charged with possession of a narcotic drug and possession of drug paraphernalia. I'm going to order that you not possess or consume any alcohol or illegal drugs. And no firearms or other weapons. Do not return to the location of the alleged incident. I have a statement that I am going to read to you. It will be followed up by a question. Please answer the question either yes or no. You may be eligible to participate in a diversion program called STEPS that requires you to participate in a plan specific to your needs for a short time. If you choose to participate and complete the program, these felony drug accusations in your arrest report will be permanently dismissed without you ever being formally charged. Are you interested in getting released from jail custody now and learning more about the STEPS program at your next hearing?
Yes.
Okay. We are going to release you the supervision of pretrial services. And we're going to schedule you into STEPS. That court date is March 18th at 9. And will the defense be waiving time for the preliminary hearing?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And we're going to schedule for a preliminary hearing for April 23rd at 1:30, and the county public defender will be representing you. You're excused.
Thank you.
All these judges tomorrow morning, this year attorney be here May 18th at 9 o'clock. This is the address of there. If you go, it's a couple of payments to take over code. They'll be just next up.
Okay, thank
Best of
you.
luck, Tamara.
All right, thank you.
Evening, Your Honor.
Hello, what is your name?
Christopher Lee Thomas.
Okay. Okay, looks like you've got 3 matters. You have a new interim complaint charging weapons misconduct as a prohibited possessor, possession of a weapon during a narcotics offense, possession of a dangerous drug for sale, possession of a narcotic drug for sale, and possession of drug paraphernalia. And let's see here. So we'll order no alcohol or drugs. Don't go back to location of the alleged incident. Do not possess any firearms or other weapons. And the state is asking me to hold you without bond. So we're gonna set a no bond hearing, and that will be March 14th at 2:30. The public defender will be representing you. Preliminary hearing, March 19th at 1:30. Okay, that takes care of that one. The next item, you have an arrest warrant. You can find it. You have a fugitive warrant out of Walworth, Wisconsin. And you also have a warrant out of Pinell County. The state's asking for $5,000 bond on the Wisconsin matter. Since there's a state's recommendation, does the defense wish to speak on the Wisconsin matter?
Judge, it looks like he's already released on bond in that matter with his scheduled review hearing in April. So I think we just keep that review hearing.
You have it on here March 13th. Is that when his review is? Or April? Here, let me look up his name.
Too much of it is because they're going to be up on the list, but sure.
Yeah.
I got sentenced to probation on Friday. He's right there. It's the 11/26 one.
The jail roster, this is hold without bond. Is that the one from? Oh, that might be the one from Canal. Okay. We set 5,000 on the Wisconsin case, and the court date there is March 13th. at 2:30, and the legal defender will be your attorney in that case. And then
Yeah.
for now, the state's asking for 2,500.
Your Honor, the state is merely repeating the amounts recommended by the other two jurisdictions.
We'll set that one for 1,500, and review days April 8th at 9 o'clock on that one. And that's it. You're excused.
So you're trying to look at your time to take off and then they'll pop out. That's what. Saul Shiro, thank you, Judge. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Have a good
Good
evening.
night.